Give me a minute. Shalom, shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Joshua Water in Jacksonville, Florida. But first I take up a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the archons, and to the women and children around the world in Paleo-Hebrew language. And when I say Lion's Den Camp, at the end of lion is a Z, not an S. Okay? Moving on. Kal halayim la Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha Rokah Kodash Mahamath, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Double honors to the apostles of Lion Den's Camp. Salutations to the archons who are on the four corners of the earth, and to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, well, a lot is happening. Let me move this up here, see if it pops up.
Now I'm sure
there it goes. Okay. A lot of stuff are going on. And as you already know and heard, it's like I was had a little drink of vinegar. As you heard, a so-called white woman, a mother, got shot in the face, right? But condolences of what happens, but these are things that are gonna happen to their own people. But my focus is to our people, so-called Negros, Latin Americans, and speckled birds, how close we are to World War III, and watching my elder from Lion Den's Camp do a lesson. Oh boy, Slakia. Okay, just a couple of minutes ago, with Jesse Ventura, I believe the name was, an ex-military Navy SEAL, I believe he was, making it known that we are living. America has turned into a third world country, Slovakia. But anyway, this video popped up, and I said, "Wow, let me do a lesson," because this was happening to our people way, way back. Okay, in 1910 to 1920. Okay, and I believe it has to do with the Mexicans and what Texas Ranger. Right, because you got to understand, these wicked Edomites, they change their titles so they can keep doing wickedness to our people, the so-called Negros, Latinos, Americans, and speckled birds, okay? So, La Mantaza, I don't know how to pronounce that in English, so I can follow that. But now I am sure a lot of Mexican Americans know this story. So she's going to share some insight about it. The title of this lesson is called "There is No New Thing Under the Sun." Here we go. Oops.
Mexican Americans know this story, but for the rest of us, let me put you on to something that this country never wanted us to know. There was a decade in Texas where Mexican Americans were hunted, not secretly, not by fringe groups. I'm talking Texas Rangers, sheriffs, and white vigilantes, killing people with badges pinned to their chests like permission slips. And this period has a name: La Matanza, the massacre, 1910 to 1920. And the only reason you didn't learn about it in school is because Texas made sure you never did. So how did this all start? Let me tell you. Texas was in a panic. The Mexican Revolution was happening right across the border, and white ranchers were afraid that the land that they had stolen might not stay stolen. So the state did what America always does when it wants to justify violence. It manufactured a threat. Mexicans are dangerous. Mexicans are bandits. Mexicans are rebels. Mexicans are spies. And once you label an entire group as a threat, you've already written the permission slip for violence. That's when the killings began. Door-to-door raids, kidnappings, interrogations, shootings without trial. Some people were murdered crossing the wrong patch of road. Some were murdered just for being Mexican in the wrong town. Texas called it law and order, but history calls it what it was: state-sanctioned terror. Entire communities lived in fear of men on horseback wearing ranger badges. No warrants, no trials, no accountability. Historians confirm that hundreds of Mexican Americans were killed. And the real number may reach into the thousands because most of those deaths weren't documented. Families were scared to ask questions. Bodies were dumped in the Rio Grande. Names went unrecorded. And witnesses stayed silent to stay alive. The Rangers carried out lynchings, public shootings, and executions without trial, all under the banner of protection. This wasn't a riot, it wasn't a conflict, it was a purge. By 1919, the violence was so widespread that Texas legislature had no choice but to launch an investigation. The Canales investigation. Hundreds of pages of testimony, witnesses describing murders, tortures, disappearances. And what happened? Almost no one was punished. A few Rangers were dismissed. Most kept their jobs and some were even promoted. And their findings? Buried, not taught, not acknowledged. Texas rewrote the story and turned the Rangers into heroes. They didn't forget La Matanza. They concealed it. This wasn't ancient history. People who survived La Matanza lived well into the 1980s and 1990s. Their grandchildren are alive right now. And the fear that still sits in some Mexican-American families, that don't draw attention, don't call the police, that don't make noise, fear, that's not cultural memory. That's generational trauma.
Okay. So as you can see how they're using ice right now, right? The only thing I can say about that mother that got shot 3 times in the face is that another video, matter of fact, 2 or 3 different videos, she speaks Spanish, okay? And she was giving a testimony on how when she was going through hard times, there was a Hispanic or Latinos that helped her. Even when she didn't have no food, how they were giving her their lunch food at work. And she said that she apologized to all the Latinos and Hispanic people for the mistreatment and abuse that her own people are doing to them. And that she's going to do everything in her power to see what she can do, because she says she knows a lot of people all over America, and that the way she was saying it in Spanish, it's like it's a lot of whistleblowers, right, that are not happy what happened to our people, the so-called Negros, Latino American speckled birds. But to keep it short on that topic, it looks like, can that be one of the reasons that because she came out also and spoke Spanish to the Hispanic people and Latinos and tell them that it breaks her heart what we are going through, that she's gonna do the best that she can to make a difference? Can that play a part also why they took her life? They don't like when their own people become whistleblowers and come out like that. So now they're going after their own kind, which that's really the hand of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai doing these things to prove to our people again that everything is in control in the hands of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai. I want to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. The things that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So you got to be careful with the Elamite, because they are talking like what they're doing has never been done before. It's new, right? They came up with it. They're the wise, the intelligent, the all almighty, right? One big fat lie. Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new, it has been already of old time, which was before us? You see? So it's repeating itself, regenerations, you know. We pass away, and when we come back, we don't remember anything, because that's the way Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai has done it. Okay? Verse 11. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that ought to come, with those that shall come after. Right? So we keep playing the same. I guess I can put it this way: we will keep playing the same record, generation through generation, going through the laws that Yahweh Shah has created to fulfill what He said, not what the Edomites say or what they want to do. You know, they want to keep convincing, right, through suppressing us, our people, that they want us to worship them, right? To bow down to them and do what they say or else. And through generation, it did not accomplish, it will not accomplish, it's not going to work, okay? Jump to verse 14. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. See, you know, our people, the so-called Negros, Latino, and speckled birds, have to ask themselves a very important question. Now that things are getting worse and they're about to get even worse, what matter or conversation you should be really doing? You should be repenting real fast. That window of mercy is getting smaller. I want to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. I'll start with verse 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be has already been, and Yahweh requires that which is past. Yeah, everything that these wicked have done to us in the past is all recorded. They have not been punished. You see? We have, okay? Every generation, when we come back, we've been punished. They haven't. They have gone around the world raping, robbing, and plundering and having a good time, right? And been doing this all the way back from the beginning of Cain and Abel, when Abel, you know, murdered his brother, and Cain became a fugitive and a vagabond. That's his mark. Okay, that's the curse. I want to go now to 14. Let me jump to 15. Oh, no, I already did that. 14, Slakia. I know that whatsoever Yahweh doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. Yahweh do it, and men shall fear before him. But again, the Edomites, through deception and oppressing our people, want to keep insisting that they can control the elements with the little bit of toys that was given to them by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You see? When they went and did what they did to Venezuela, Venezuela doesn't have no kind of technology, right? Or the toys that America has, that they used when they went over there, right? Helicopters that can go faster, move around fast, Slovakia. Drones, right? Advanced weapons or guns. And let's not forget the that they call the bell, what they call the bell sound, that once they it's like a speaker, right? Once they turn it on, it has like a very frequency sound, I guess is the word, make your ears and nose bleed. Yeah, there was a Venezuelan in Spanish that came out talking about that. Okay? So they're going around taking advantage and being the bully of the world, and people are fed up. Right? Verse 5, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. And that's what's happening right now. Nobody wants to embrace the Edomites no more, not even their own kind, right? You see, we gotta always remind ourselves that, what was his name again? Salakium. Bill Gates said they gotta bring the population down. So they bring his own kind down, and he's aware of that. They don't care. They want to have total power, and they need cyborg, human cyborgs. They need them bad and desperately. So when Yahushua comes back with the host of angels, right? They need minerals, gold, silver, oil, you name it, so they can keep up the war machine running. I want to go to James. I'm going to jump out of that and go to James chapter 1, verse 17, to our people. Okay. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of light of truth, with whom is no variableness, neither shows shadow of turning. So the Edomites are angry that they want to have the blessing, the gift, the glory that was given to the so-called Negro South American speckled birds. Salvation, forgiveness, right? The inheritance. It was given to us. Nobody can take it away. Okay? It's a done deal. They don't like hearing it, but hey, those are the facts, Jack. I want to go to Numbers chapter 23, verse, start with 19. Yahweh is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Has he said, and shall he not do it? Or has he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Yeah. The Edomites want to keep insisting that they can tell God and his son, our king, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, 10 feet tall, dark skinned Afro, that you got it all wrong, you did it wrong, fix this, change this. No. You are what you are, Edomites. You were used for a purpose, for us, the so-called Negros, Martinican, and speckled bird, to become perfected, going through the suffering and experiencing the wickedness that you were made for. You are being destroyed by your own hands. Verse 21. He has not beheld iniquity in Jacob, neither has he seen perverseness in Israel. Yahweh, his power, is with him, and the shout of a king is among them. Come on, man. That's like you being born a man and you say, no, I want to be a woman. You can get all the operations you want. It ain't going to change anything. Okay? But no. The Edomites are the only creatures that want to live in denial. Right? Let's go back to James chapter 1, verse 18. Of his own will begot he us. with the word of truth by his own will. Come on, man. That we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. So you don't decide anything. Hell, not even the devil in heaven can do whatever comes out of his ass. He has to obey what Yahweh tells Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai tells the devil. And then the devil tells his children that are on earth what to do. You see? Things are in order. But no, Edomites want to destroy everything because they're spoiled brats, right? They don't want to accept their inheritance, really, which is slavery for 1,000 years, for all the treason and criminal activities you have committed around the world. I want to go to John chapter 1, verse 3. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Yeah. The Father gave the Son the knowledge and the authority to create everything, righteous and wickedness. Let's jump to verse 13. Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Very important that our people remember this and gain the understanding by repenting and calling out the name of Yahweh Shai. Verse 14, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. We, the so-called Negro speckled birds. Okay? I want to go to John chapter 3, verse 3. Yahweh shall answer and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So when we're telling our people, repent in the name of Yahweh Shai, right? So that you can get understanding and, salvation, that's what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai decides that, yeah, he will do that, right? But if you keep insisting that all you got to do is keep chasing the bag while things get worse, right? Join the army to make America great again. Okay. You're not going to like the results. Where was I? Okay, I want to go now to 1 Corinthians. Okay. Hear some noise outside. Chapter 4, verse 15. For though you have 10,000 instructors in Yahweh Shai, yet have ye not many fathers? Yet not many fathers. For in Yahweh Shai I have begotten you through the gospel. You're running to Egypt for all things. Well, all you have to do is run to Yahweh Shai for counsel. Go through his elders. Pray to be guided in the name of Yahweh Shai where the elders are. But that feminine word, the door is closing. So, I don't know how fast you can run, but it ain't going to be that fast, I can tell you that. Verse 16. Wherefore I beseech you, be ye followers of me. Yeah, you're over here still practicing pagan holidays, right? You're over here chasing the bag, right? Putting all your time and energy in entertainment, not knowing that the so-called Negros, Latinos, and speckled birds are the people that are given the blessing of righteousness, right? The inheritance. I'm going to leave it with Proverbs chapter 10. Give me a minute. Verse 24. It's amazing how our people want the inheritance of the Edomites, which is stolen, right? It belongs to Yahweh Shai. Instead of praying to Yahweh Shai, right, to remove the wickedness, right? And, go to Yahweh Shai for our true inheritance, a righteous one. Okay, Proverbs chapter 10, verse 24, the fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him. Yeah, wicked goes upon wickedness. But the desire of righteousness shall be granted. And what is that our wishes are? For Yahushua to remove this wicked kingdom from the face of the earth and remove the blessing and the power and the Edomites from authority, right? And put them where they belong for what they have done. Verse 25, as the whirlwind pass, so is the wicked no more. But the righteous is an everlasting foundation. I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say, Shalom.